Karl, after not having played a game in almost a month, what was it like just for you to be back out on the court and playing in a competitive basketball game again?
Uh, it was it was good. It was good for me mentally to just get back to a rhythm of work and doing work, and it was really nice. I know you said first time playing basketball in a month. I mean, I haven't had any contact or anything, so it was pretty cool to just get a chance to play one on one at least, and let alone 5-on-5. So um, it was fun. It was good to be out there. Great to be with the guys. Love these guys. Everyone in that locker room. That's great spirit. So it helped me a lot get through this process and be really happy coming back.
You talk about getting through this process. We really haven't heard much from you in about a month. What has this month been like for you personally?
It's kind of hard to put in words, but I just been focusing on me. I've been here 6 years, and every single time it became a decision of doing what's best for me and what's best for the team and this organization. I've always picked this team and this organization, and at one point I got to start thinking for myself and taking care of myself. And obviously, getting COVID stopped everything in its tracks and left me with a decision. And I picked, my family. Um, this is something. I'm a high risk case. Um, COVID did not treat me well whatsoever. A lot of scary nights. My dad calling me 24/7. What I said in my post at the end was the kids. I think everyone who's on this knows me very well. I call my niece and nephew my kids mostly, as my sister is a single parent, and um, they one of the things when I told my sister that I got COVID was, hey, I got it, and I don't got a good version of it. I got a lot of COVID in me, but I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna beat it. And I remember the kids are in the FaceTime, and then that's what led me into my last part of the what I posted was they thought that they started crying, and I said, Jelani, Max, why are you crying? Don't cry. Uncle's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. And they were saying how, kids don't know a little bit how to like understand the magnitude of it, and I remember one of the first things they told me was Jelani was like, that's what grandma said, aka my mom. So I was like, oh, don't say that. I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna beat it. Grandma taught me how to beat it and what I got to do, and science is better now and stuff. And she kept crying, and that's what I said in the last part when I said about ending up in a box next to grandma. That was for Jelani and Max because they do take notice of what I say on my Instagram and stuff. So I said that because I wanted them to know that the world knows and I know that I made them a promise that I'm gonna be fine and I'm gonna make it through, and through all the long nights and nights where I just was not feeling well whatsoever and the vitals weren't good and decisions had to be made on my health. I kept them in mind. They pushed me to continue doing things, and when COVID kept messing with my body and my mind and my spirit, I just thought about them. I thought about my mother. I spent a lot of time in that house. No sound, no visuals, no TV, just me and looking at a memorial of my mom in my house and spending time and really, I guess you could say, building my spirit up and being more spiritual and being more connected. And I feel like we had a lot of great conversations and had a lot of great moments. And I know I'm rambling, but you asked me a question, I want to answer it honestly. So it's just a lot of emotion, a lot of things happened mentally. Even for me, when I went back on the road trip with the guys, I just mentally wasn't prepared for everything that came with that, all the energy, all the sounds and everything in the arena and stuff. It caused me too much mental strain. So that road trip was great for me just to get feeling of a rhythm of being in an arena, being with my teammates, just feeling the energy and the speed of the game. Just being present was big for me because I just been away in solitude and silence for so long that I just wanted to feel some normalcy.
John, go ahead.
Hey, Karl, when you're going through those things mentally and physically, who are you leaning on to try and help you in those periods?
Uh, I just my faith for real. People say it, but you know, when things get really down and get really bad, you either lean on your understanding or a higher understanding. And I decided to go with the latter and be, you know, feel that there was an understanding that I couldn't understand, but the Lord above does. So I just leaned on my faith. I leaned on Him. You know, there's a lot of times, faith ain't tested when things are going good, but when it's bad. And even when I leaned on Him for my mom, and obviously things went the other way, um, I still stayed true to my faith and just continued to pray and continue to fight and continue to do the things I had to do. And all that, this process, I've been able to come back. So it's great to be back on the court. It feels like I was just smiling on the court even when I got to the end because I just was so proud of myself to get to this point. It's been a long process. It's been, you know, many days where you don't even feel like you're going to come back. And I just came back from my wrist injury, and then I get COVID, and then you know things got very serious. And, you know, you just like I told Nicholas between in the game, you know, it just you just don't feel like you get to a point where you just don't feel like you're ever going to see that court again. And you know, it's a humbling experience. I'm not ready for the retired life yet, so I'm glad to be back.
And I don't know how much you've paid attention to it, but what do you have thoughts on, you know, the NBA is going to have an all-star game, you know, even as all these numbers are going on, and just what you're seeing maybe from the league, from society in general, about how COVID is or is not being handled right now, and as someone who has dealt with the worst of it, what you
Uh,
think?
I mean, I did see the All Star game. I personally don't, you know, believe there should be an All Star game, but what the hell do I know? I mean, shit, obviously I haven't dealt with COVID, probably, right? Probably a guy that has some insight into that. But shit, what do I know about COVID, right? So I don't believe that should happen. But you know, the world is coming to a place where I wish, selfishly, I wish it was at this point when my mom was here. You know, it could have made things a lot easier and it could have gave me a better chance and better resources. But even for me, I felt very, I've said it privately, but I'll say it now. It's like I felt very guilty about the treatment I got, you know, and I feel that it should be more widely available to Americans, but and anyone in the world. But you know, I felt very guilty even getting something that could help me more, just recover, stay healthy, stay alive. But um, you know, like I said, there's just such mental strain during all this time and a feeling of guilt because of the resources I have, and I wish I could spread these resources with as many people as possible. Um, yeah, guilt, just a lot of demons I haven't dealt with that I've put to the back burner for basketball, but basketball was now taken away from me completely. My teammates were taken away from me completely. People were taken away from me completely. It's just you in that house, and you know, it was challenging, and but COVID's a real thing. It ain't never gone away. It hasn't diminished at all. It's just gotten smarter. So there's that.
Chris, go ahead.
Karl, at what point did you maybe turn the corner and go from thinking that you may not play basketball again for a while and to
It's a long.
today?
A lot of people I know you hear those stories where people get COVID and they're like, oh, for 4 days, 5 days, I didn't feel well, and then I turned the corner magically one day and I was feeling great. That did not happen with me. So I know fans and people who play fantasy sports all the time want Karl to come back on the court. It's supposed to be 12 days he's on the court, but that ain't how life goes. You know, so everyone's case of COVID is totally different. Every human and their underlying conditions are totally different. And my underlying conditions did not play in my favor at all for COVID. And um, yet alone, one of the most scariest parts for all of us on this organization and my immediate family and stuff was how genetically connected I am to my mother. I am the most genetically like my mother, and it's not close. So that was a very scary thing to obviously put in the underlying condition category, including that. Nothing was playing in my favor. I knew it was going to be a long journey. I knew it was going to be a rough journey. Um, put to the forefront that there's things I haven't dealt with and still grieving and stuff that I had to deal with now in silence with no one around to help me with that process. So, mental health is real, and it's very, very real. And I've dealt with it my whole life, and I'm glad that I had my mother with me because she always just knew how to heal me in that mental aspect. And obviously, with her not here, it's even more challenging. But she gave me a lot of tools, so I just utilized them as best as I could, even in the bad days, and found a way to push through and get to this point.
One thing that you said when you were posting on Instagram over your battle was that you were in a car accident this summer, and we didn't know this previously, but what happened there, and were there any lingering effects of what happened?
Quick story. I'll get to it another day. I'm not really too much talking about it, but quick story on that was, my girlfriend had a photo shoot. I was blessed to be at the time in the off season where I could actually go and see her at work. I was 2 minutes from the shoot on a cliff. Drunk driver comes drifting fast as hell. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it just happened. It was not a good wreck, and I'm just glad it was at the time. God bless his soul. Frank Ocean's brother had just passed away in an accident in LA, and that was really scary when Jordan was told the news that I was in an accident in the hospital. But it wasn't a good wreck. The way I am, even as how I fell and the injuries I sustained and stuff like that, I was more worried that I messed up her car. So that was just how my mindset always is. I just always felt I always want to try and make sure everyone else is okay, and I didn't want to mess up her car. But I survived. I'm happy I was alive. I had to do what I had to do, get monitored, tested, all that stuff. Stayed, and she was right there with me. Like I said in the post too, Sarah, you can hear this too, but there ain't nothing better than a strong woman. When you got the right woman, woof. When you got the right woman, that should have changed the game. So, I'm blessed to have her in my life where I was able to, after so much and just got out the hospital damn near with my mom and seeing her pass away. Now I'm in the same spot as her. Like, it wasn't obviously optimal, but I'm just happy. I've been too sad for too long to not have a smile on my face through all this. So I just keep a smile on my face and enjoy the little things in life because, like my mom always said, you never know when it's going to be taken away from you. So I'm just going to enjoy every single moment I get with this team, playing this game of basketball, with my woman, with my father, with my sister, with the kids. I'm just going to enjoy every little moment God gives me, good and bad. I'm going to take it for what it is, and I'm going to move on, learn from the bad, and live in the good,
Case, go ahead.
Hey, Karl, like you said, with the scary nights, the bad vitals, just knowing your genetics and what happened to so many of your family members, how did you keep, as you're going through these struggles, the worst thoughts from entering your mind of what might happen to you? Or did you have some of those thoughts at times?
Thoughts come and go for sure, but I've just been through so much that it numbs you a lot to stuff. And, I've just seen such tragedy in my life all the time. And it's unfortunate. I remember one of the times I came and saw my mom, it reminded me of being with my dad's father, my grandfather, and being with him in that hotel room when he had lung cancer, and just knowing it was going to be the time it was not going to be another time I was going to see him. And, I just seen so much in my life, I guess, my mom especially, and all the tragedy I've seen, and the way my mom and my dad taught me become numb to a lot of that stuff. And it's just the reality of what life is, you know, you live and you die. So I guess, like I said, I take whatever life gives me, good and the bad. When the bad thoughts came in, I was just focused on the kids. I was focused on my family. I was focused on my girl. I was just trying to do whatever I can to obviously not only survive, but obviously not have such bad long-term effects and stuff like that. So I was looking past just making it.
Eric, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Kat? Welcome back, first of all. You spoke a little bit earlier about, obviously just the All-Star being played, but do you feel like basketball was it a part of you that's morally feeling like basketball should continue to be played, and just how have going through this experience affected just your everyday encounters of life of doing things or preparing for games, or, just your thoughts on should basketball be played and just how has it affected your everyday life now that you've gone through COVID?
I mean, you know what? He's his own man. Everyone's gonna have a different opinion. Everyone has different experiences, especially other than I have with COVID. So I don't want to speak for no man and stuff. I feel that basketball is just being played, and as long as we could be as safe as possible and adhere to the rules, and players adhere to the rules and the protocols, then I mean, we could do it. I mean, for me, if you're asking how I felt, I mean, I didn't expect basketball to start this year. I wasn't mentally prepared to play when I came in for training camp. Shit, I wasn't mentally prepared for tonight. I think what really pushed me to play was these guys. These guys in these locker rooms, are amazing. And from our rookies up to Ed Davis, these guys really, they hold me down. They hold me down for sure. And, even when mentally I wasn't ready to play, I thought personally, but from a just emotional standpoint, it was these guys that pushed me. They helped me, pick myself up and see why I do what I do, and I do it for these guys. I do it for these guys every single night, and understanding, knowing D'Lo's not playing, I just wanted to do my part. I didn't want to leave him out there, and I just wanted to help. And these guys pushed me, and it was great. It was kind of great to be out there, just to have a temporary moment with these guys. When I say temporary, I mean just to have these 30 minutes I played tonight, these 48 minutes of the game, just to be out there with these guys and just have a different energy come through my life. So it was great to be out there. Basketball wise, rules and protocols are set in place to try to keep us as safe as possible. Everyone wants to get back to this point, and just regular life, playing basketball every single night, not wearing masks and stuff. And trust me, I'm one of the first people I would love for this virus to be eradicated, this disease to be eradicated. But you got to try to keep some normalcy. And I feel a lot of guys in this league who haven't went through what I've went through, I feel that this game brings the ability to have normalcy. So as long as everyone adheres to protocols and rules, I'm okay coming back on this court to play.
Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Karl, welcome back, and all my prayers that you can continue to plow through these challenges here. You've done a lot of stuff for the Mayo Clinic, and I was wondering with that and, just your experiences, what sort of perspective have you gained with what the frontline workers are going through and what can be done to help them?
Yeah, I mean, I've always had such a respect for the frontline workers. My mother was one. So, of course, I have nothing but the utmost respect. And I just feel for them every day. People, this is me personally again, but you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it honest, is that people complain about wearing a mask and wearing one of these and all this stuff. But these frontline workers are in there with people who are possibly dying and wearing 4 masks, and you can't wear one? Just one. Like, stop it. Like, don't be lazy. Think of others before yourself. Wear the mask. Do your part. And if we really hate this disease and this virus, help us end it, help us stop the spread of it. Wear one of these, go about your day, be smart, be intelligent, and just be responsible. And that's as simple as it gets. So these frontline workers, the way they commit themselves and the mental strain that comes with seeing people like this and knowing that you have all the possibility of getting this and your family could get it, they deserve a lot of credit. They deserve a hell of a lot of credit for the work they've done and giving people healthy or even giving people a chance to survive. That's all you ask at the end of the day is a chance. That's all I asked for. I just wanted a chance to see my mom get out that bed. Give me a chance. You give me some hope. I'm forever grateful.
Melissa, go ahead.
Hey, Karl, you talked about how harrowing this whole experience has been for you. Were there moments where you were actually afraid for your life? And what would you say to people who still don't think this is real?
I was worried at points early on because of how serious everything got. My vitals weren't doing well. I have a lot of underlying conditions that didn't play in my favor genetically as well. The amount of virus I had in my body was not healthy whatsoever. And, it was, there's been moments that, it just is, I live by a motto, it is what it is at this point. I've been seeing so much shit the last year, I guess you could say. It just is what it is. I can't make sense of all the things that happen in the world, yet alone to me. So just, it is what it is. And let's find a solution. Let's find the way, a plan. Let's make a plan to beat this or whatever the obstacle or the tribulation is, or the trial is, just do whatever I got to do to beat it, to come on the other side. So, there's been days, there's been nights, there's been days, still days at this point, still, even recently where, I just don't want to talk to people. I just really want to just be by myself and have some silence. So I appreciate my teammates and my coaching staff for understanding that and letting me have my moments when they come and being there when they're gone.